Alabama has Henry To'oto in. We're all happy, excited, jumping up and down. But here's the big question. How will this young man mesh with Christian Harris and Jaylen Moody? Because Alabama's already got some inside linebackers on the team, on the roster already. So upon the information coming out over the weekend, To'oto puts the tweet out, thank you, Lord, coming to Alabama with the Crimson Tide jersey on. I mean, you guys went crazy. It was, oh my gosh, we going to have To'oto and Christian Harris. Man, this linebacker room is giving me Reuben Foster, Rashawn Evans vibe. So everybody right now talking about To'oto, Harris, these two studs, going to be big factor right here. And Christian Harris, we know what he is. His 2 years so far for the Crimson Tide coming out of Baton Rouge, Louisiana in the 2019 class. 26 career games he's played in, 25 starts, 142 tackles, 14 and a half of those for loss, 4.5 sacks, 11 quarterback hurries, 3 pass breakups, 1 interception, 1 forced fumble, one fumble recovery. We know the numbers right there on one Christian Harris. We know the numbers also on one Henry To'oto. But the question becomes here, the big thing here, don't phase out Jaylen Moody. That's the big thing. Jaylen Moody has huge value. I know a lot of people are saying, well, with To'oto coming in, does that mean we lose Jaylen Moody? Does that mean Moody leaves? Does that mean Moody transfers? No. Nick Saban knows the value that Jaylen Moody has. This dude brings tremendous value to this team. And you talk about just last season when Harris got hurt against Arkansas. Moody came in, and the young man from South Carolina did his thug thizzle, did his thing. Had a season high 7 tackles, shared a tackle for loss, had a forced fumble, had a fumble recovery, showed you he could play some big-time football. Had the lateral quickness, stuck his nose in there, made big tackles, made big plays. And upon the season ending, Moody, 18 tackles, 1 forced fumble, 1 fumble recovery. And here's a guy that had a tremendous spring, big spring for Moody. Coach Saban kept talking about it. His growth, his development, his hunger, his passion, his perseverance, his stick-to-itiveness. I mean, he said Moody's the type of guy that has played himself into being a starter at that linebacker role, at that inside linebacker role for the Crimson Tide. You go back and you watch the spring game, he had that first-team defense playing with its hair on fire. I mean, Bryce Young only had 1 touchdown pass in that game, and if not for some miscommunication, that defense probably does not give him or allow him to get that. So Moody has value. Moody has big-time value. So To'oto still has to kind of win this job away from Moody. Now, To'oto, naturally gifted, natural speed, natural talent, natural ability, but Moody's the guy who came into that 2018 class. He has more knowledge of the system. He has more knowledge of what's going on. He has more knowledge of what Pete Golding wants to run up front. So you cannot phase out Moody. You cannot push Moody off to the back burner. This dude has marquee value for this football team. So the question becomes, is with the 3 here, To'oto, Harris, and Moody, how will Saban, how will Pete Golding interchange these guys? Will it be a situation where Moody starts, early packages, and then To'oto comes in? Or is this a moment where To'oto flat beats Moody and does his thing? Like, you got 3 really good inside linebackers here. And the question will be, how will Saban, how will Pete Golding interchange these different pieces to get the maximum use, to get the maximum effort of each guy on the field? The actual question becomes Shane Lee. Here's the domino. Here's the actual question, because now Shane Lee has a big decision to make. Does he pursue the transfer portal? I'm not saying he will, but with To'oto in here, that question now has to hit Shane Lee's mind. Oh, snap. What am I going to do? Do I take my ball, go elsewhere, pursue the transfer portal because I do have experience, especially drawing back from my freshman year, or do I wait this thing out? Because if Christian Harris has a major junior season, you got to think he's going to be a top 5, top 10 draft pick in the 2022 venue, so he's going to go. And with that, and if that happens there, does Oto'o decide, hey, I'll stick another year at Alabama, and it becomes Oto'o and Shane Lee? So Shane Lee's he's got a decision to make. He's got some thoughts to muddle through. He's got some things to kind of process here. Do I stick around and let this thing play out, or do I bet on myself? Do I bank on myself, knowing the experience that I got as a freshman in 2019, the 86 tackles I got, the 7.5 tackles for loss I got that year, the 4.5 sacks I got that year, being a freshman all-SEC caliber player that I was? Do I bank on myself and go elsewhere, or do I let this thing play out? Do I let this thing ride and maybe see 2022 being my time of getting back onto the field here? But, I mean, folks, people are talking about Christian Harris, Henry To'oTo'o, Rashaan Evans, Reuben Foster vibes, big, big, big. Do not phase Jaylen Moody out of the room.